Meet me on the mat, yogis. Hey, listen, it's Valentine's Day weekend, so I have a very special intention that I'm going to set for us today. So meet me here on the mat, and we're going to get seated, but starting to move what I call a moving meditation. And I'll talk to you about your intention in a moment. So once you've arrived, seated cross-legged with either leg in front, begin to bring fingertips down towards your sides, and we're going to move into our stomachs here a little bit with some torso rotations, rolling around in one direction, and feel free to drop your chin towards your chest. I would love for you to close your eyes for a moment. Try to immerse yourself in your breath and your body all through class today. And then we're going to take a little bit of a luxurious break in most of our stretches, not rushing through anything. Switch directions with your circles here. So when we enter these postures, it can feel quite stiff in the beginning, and we'll notice the longer we stay and breathe, the looser things can become. Therefore, I ask that you approach everything today with a beginner's mindset, open-minded curiosity. Let's take a big stretch forward. Arms reach skywards. Press your palms facing the sky and then pull your thumbs and pinky fingers down towards your crown. Before we float forward, let's take a few shoulder shrugs. Bring them up towards your ears and release. Up towards your ears and release. Notice you're feeling an opening in your sternum. Your ribs are lifting as you do this. Breathing in, lengthening side bodies, and breathing out. One more time, big press, palms to sky. Allow your fingers and wrists to soften and then float forward and down. Let's stay here for a moment. Now, as we're starting class, if you feel like you'd want to get a pillow or a blanket, things to place around you or under you as you forward fold, that can be a really nice practice. And in honor of Valentine's Day this weekend, you don't need a Valentine or even a galentine. All you need is yourself. Today we're practicing the most important practice, self-love. I'd like to offer you an intention here. I experience love wherever I go. This is one of my power thought cards by Louise Hay. I experience love wherever I go. Love is everywhere. I am loving and lovable. Loving people fill my life, and I find myself easily expressing love to others. We'll talk more about this intention in a moment. Let's send the left arm forward and the right arm back behind us. A big twist towards your right knee. Breathing into the opening on the right side body. And when you're ready, release fingertips around the right knee. Take another forward fold, but let's reach forward like a crawling tiger. Reach out and then reach some more. Get as low as you can and then settling down over right knee, keeping especially your left sits bone plugged in here. When we take these practices and we really commit to them, we are practicing every step of the way self-love, self-soothing. So important, because when we do love ourselves and honor ourselves in this way, we are like magnets to attract the same vibrant, compassionate, caring energy. It's also easier when you really love yourself to notice that in other people. You can honor their light, their self-worth, their self-love as well. Let's re-rise and lean behind us, yogis. Press your knees towards me, your groin, your navel, your chest, your chin. Everything presses forward and you're opening left to right at the same time. Big breath in. Are you able to stretch your breath all the way down into your stomach? Feel it growing forward, filling up like a balloon. And then as you exhale, sit back upright. Left fingers come to the side, right arm rises. As we stretch to the side, notice that your left shoulder wants to creep towards your ear. So let's release that down there. Big breath in. Send right sits bone deeper in your mat. And on your exhalation, travel to the other side. Right shoulder relaxed. Left arm stretching well away from left sits bone. Big breath in. And on your exhalation, reach back again behind you so you have room to uncross your legs and recross. Left shin is going to be in the front now. Beautiful job, yogis. Bring fingertips in front of you on the floor, and we're going to do a little bit of rolling cobras with the upper body. I'll show you from the side. Flat back down, tuck chin, and roll. Kind of like a cat-cow here. Just a smaller version of it. Belly comes forward, tail and top of head behind you. Spine rounds and rolls to the sky. Even your chin tucks in there. Inhaling as you lower, exhaling as you rise. I encourage you to slow down, not just your movements and your practice today, but your breath if possible. Try one more big rolling cobra. Reach arms skywards as you sit really tall and clasp your forearms behind your low back. Just a gentle clasp. But as you clasp them, yogis, behind your back, you're going to try to pull them open. So the energy is pulling open side to side. Feel a stretch, a bit of strengthening, but a stretch through your shoulders and your chest. Keep breathing. We'll only have a few really strong moments like this today, but really strong and squeezing open. Then release, clasping your hands behind your low back. Work them around your left side body. Sit up really tall, but drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And as we pause here for a moment and breathe, can you soften your facial features? Can you drop your bottom jaw from the top, part your lips? Soften the corners of your eyes. Relax in between your eyebrows and unfurrow your brow. Now drop your chin to your left collarbone, same side, but we're just tucking in and looking straight down for a moment, stretching more through the back of our right neck. Excuse me. One more big breath in. Stretch your arms behind you again and roll your eyes back to the center. Before we continue, let's drop our chin towards our chest here and clasp our hands in front. Now, I like to push my palms forward. Do whatever feels best for you here. Drop chin to chest. Stay seated tall in your spine, but really tuck your chin in. Feeling like that pull between your shoulder blades is stretching and opening your back body. Eyes back forward, reclasp behind low back, but this time switch your finger that's on top and all of the other four, so it feels a little unfamiliar and new. Wrap wrists around right side body, drop right ear, right shoulder. Now let's make sure we didn't fall over here. We sat up really tall and just dropped in through the neck. Eyes forward for the time. Softening face again. The only tension I would like for you to keep in your facial features is the corners of your mouth. We're going to keep those upturned. And if we can't force a smile physically, that's okay. Just envision a smile. Bring a lighthearted sense of whimsy to the practice. Chin to chest, or I like to think about my right collarbone. So when we tuck in here, we should feel more stretch moving to the back of our left neck. That's where our sensation is, so we breathe there. One more big breath in. Eye gaze rolls back to the center. Arms stretch out behind us, and then we come forward. Stretch really tall, yogis. And instead of reaching palms to the sky this time, we're going to do a little rope climb. So I like to think about a rope up to the sky. We pull on it, and then we pull on it the other side, creating space in between the ribs, away from the hip bones, and lengthening our torso as much as possible. 4. 2 more. Keeping all this beautiful length in your spine. Stay in the center for a moment and then just float your body on down as low as it feels good going. But remembering that we like the connection. Sit bones deep into your floor as an anchor so you can stretch away from them. Let's go for one more big, beautiful breath in here. Ease down a bit more deeply on the exhalation. Keep your right hand where it is, but sweep your left arm past your heart and reach it behind you for a beautiful twist. Eye gaze may enjoy following your left fingertips. That will definitely help you twist a bit more deeply. One more breath in here. And as you finish that exhalation, slowly slide back forward. Let's reach hands behind us so we can take our legs into a bound angle. Anytime you need a stretch in between, yogis, do what feels good. Maybe you like a windshield wipe, a knee shake, or a tick-tock through your toes. And then join me in our seated bound angle, not reclined just yet. Fingertips face your buns, and we're gonna prop up off of our hands. Scooch the buns to the side just a tad, and then feel a little bit of mobility here. Maybe you're swinging your hips side to side, or you're seesawing your knees side to side. Feeling like you could go a little bit bigger, we're gonna boost the hips up a bit higher, but still this time, just squeezing through the buns to open the front body, pressing blade edges of feet together, opening inner arches, big breath in through the front body. Exhale, sink right back down. Staying seated up very tall and bound angle, swivel your whole body to the right. Prop yourself off of your right knee. Use your left hand, and that way you can scooch a little bit deeper around the corner. Same thing, other side, twisting to the left. Use right hand on left knee. If you can't reach that, use your ankle or your shin. Come on, back to the other side. One more big breath in, using backhand to prop you up very tall here. And let's try the other way. Big breath in and out. Well done, my friends. Let's come around the corner into tabletop. Closing knees, and they like to use your hands. Finding our way to stack hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Great time to get something cushiony for under your knees. Shifting a little side to side, left and right with the hips here. Just easing into the outer hip. And then rolling through some circular cat-cows. So our linear ones are where we come straight down to the floor in cow, straight up to the sky in cat. But if we could possibly add a little push out through our ribs in each direction and make it more circular, it can be a lot more luxurious. Stretching into side bodies, moving into your elbows, your shoulders, maybe even your neck and your ears. And find breath in every position that works for you. I like an inhalation to open the stomach in cow, an exhalation to open the back in cat. If toes were tucked, untuck them for your next couple. And if they were untucked, tuck them. See how that feels. We have one more big round of cat-cow here. All righty, let's stretch our right toes back behind us. Connect them to the mat so you have leverage to push and pull, beginning to stretch into our calves. Stretch the left arm forward. You can tent the fingertips. But if you feel stable, let's elevate the left fingertips to the sky. Thumb facing up, palm facing in. And when your right leg feels pretty stretched through the calf, elevate that leg. So we have a really strong pointer. Point right toes, send left fingers far away. And roll around to a diagonal pointer, reaching out through the side. Come back forward, curl into a cheetah pose. Rounding your back into that angry cat shape, and then re-extend forward into pointer. Out to 90 degrees. The inner forearm and the inner right thigh face the floor. Stretch back out into diagonal pointer. Front to back one more time, and then we're gonna add on modified half bow, yogis. Bending right knee, sweeping left arm behind you, trying to reach for your inner arch. And if you have that inner arch, you just do a little kick with your right leg to stretch into a really big cow shape in your stomach. It's okay if you can't reach your foot. Keep reaching back there. One more big breath in. All the way forward and back again. Re-land through your left hand. Tuck your left toes. Keep right leg lifted. And are you able to stretch up to three-legged dog from here? Remembering that today's class is all about feeling good. So whether you like to have your hip open in dog or closed, knee bent or straight with your moving through your right leg, I would like for you to answer your body's requests. Ask it what it needs. Make sure you're listening to it using that language we learned last week, the language of sensation with your body. All right, our first stretch for the hips here. Let's bring our knee towards our nose on the right leg and step it forward into lunge, landing your left knee. And then lifting straight up to 90-degree knees. Really great stretch for the psoas. That's what we talked about earlier. Back tightness can be from shortened hip flexor muscles. From here, we're just gonna pulse forward a tiny bit. Feel the pull, release. Feel the pull, release. Some of you could be really flexible in your hips, may need to get a little deeper. Just taking a few of these, breathe in, breathe out. And when you're ready, left arm rises. Stay at the top with 90-degree knees. Tip over to the right side and then stretch right fingertips to the floor to give you more ability to find space. If it feels great and you'd like to deepen, sink your hips back down. Somewhere where you're feeling that language of sensation, listening to it, breathing into it, offering your left front hip some flexibility. Top arm falls, we frame out the right foot and shift our hips back to half split. Now, while you're here, yogis, really support yourself by bringing fingers under your shoulders. Would you like to lift your right toes skywards? You can pull them back towards your nose. Tuck or untuck left toes, that's yogi's choice. And you can also sit really low onto the left heel. Yogi's choice, whatever feels great. Once you found your favorite spot for half split, some of you may like to scoot your right leg forward. That always feels better to me. And if it feels so good, but you want a little more, stretch arms forward like downward facing dog. Stretch your nose towards your big right toes. Very long and spacious in your low back here. Anytime we can drop our head down, that'll give us a little bit more release in the lower body. The heavier we can become in the upper, the more we get in the lower. Come on back forward. Okay, one more time for that three-legged dog. So this one's gonna be a bit trickier. We're gonna press our palms down, or you can use fingertips if you'd like. Tuck left toes, elevate that knee. Push back up to downward facing dog with the leg rising skywards, and then drop down. Two toes, two palms, come into tabletop, and tuck your left toes behind you. Let's get stacked, yogis. Hands under shoulders, right knee under hip. Just move a little. Forward and back here, repeating our tabletop from before. All right, feel wrists warming up, yes? Move a little left to right possibly, and when you feel great, tent right fingertips forward. Feeling good there, elevate right thumb, palm faces inwards. And let's go for long length and elevation through the left leg, watching that our belly is staying strongly engaged here. Coming out to diagonal pointer, all the way out to the sides, right back to the center, and then in under body. This is our cheetah crunch. Inhale, extend, pointer. 90 degrees this time. Inner forearm and inner thigh face the floor. Re-extend out into pointer, and then front to back again. Let's find that modified half bow. Toes to the sky, right arm reaches around, attempting to find inner left arch. I like to flatten my right foot. And that way you have a little extra space to push out of here. Rising skywards by kicking left leg into the right hand. Feeling all that space in your chest. Opening and breathing into your right front of shoulder. Right sternum and right lung. All right, here comes the fun part, yogis. Tuck your right toes and extend left leg behind you. Place right hand down. Push up to three-legged dog. Left leg is rising. And then ask your body here, what would you like me to do? So we can open the hip, move through the leg. We might just like to find stillness and breathe. We're gonna go for one more breath doing all of the things we really enjoy. And then look forward, take a big crunch under your stomach and step in between your thumbs. Landing in low lunge, back knee down. But then we scoot right on up to 90-degree knees. So shoot the hips back. Draw front knee so it's directly under your front, heel so it's directly under your knee. Little pulse, forward and back, stretching out the front of your right hip here. If you're not feeling anything, come deeper. We want to feel a, ooh, there it is. Big stretch. Yeah. Gonna go for two more here. That's nice. Breathing in. Reaching right arm skywards, leaning off to the left, and then allow your left fingers to fall unless you need the support. Create a little bit of space for yourself, breathing in. If we're not feeling the right hip flexor, sink low as you tip into your side bend. Taking another big breath in. And on your exhalation, let's release back. Fingertips, frame left foot, tuck your right toes. One more three-legged dog on this side. Lift and lengthen, then press down. So we have 2 feet, 2 hands on the mat, rolling back to your knees and kneeling on your shins here. Let's lean back behind us. And if we can, bring the heart skywards. We want to feel like we can inflate our heart. Sweeping right arm to the sky, swiveling left fingers behind, and just taking a little twist to the left thumb. Fingertips fall back behind. Usually they both face our toes to open the chest. As the left arm rises, right fingers swivel out so you can peek down towards your right thumb. Let's try that again, yogis. Plant the left fingertips behind us, but as you lift your right arm this time, lift your buns off your heels, stretch up through your quads, front of your thighs. Same thing, buns fall, right fingers face away from feet, left arm rises, as do our hips. Really squeeze the back body to lift the front body. Fingertips come back down and find a place that your chest feels really open. I prefer my fingers to face my toes, but you have to just check in with your joints. And once you're happy, can you lift both cheeks off your heels? Hips rise to any degree, breathing in through the quadricep muscles. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Hips lower back down. Let's sit off to the right side, please. So both knees are facing the right. And we're just gonna do a little manipulation for the hip here. Both hands over the right knee. You can come as low as you want, but watch my left foot. We're gonna lift just the ankle off the ground. Knee is still down, slowly replacing it. Rolling through the hip joint here. Squeeze up and release. Some people like to come down really low. If you're unable to lift this leg, that is okay. Just fold over the right knee, relax and enjoy. Squeeze up. One more time here, squeeze up and release. Grabbing onto the left foot, little quad stretch. I like to move my right arm far from my right knee so I can lean back and lift the left knee. We want to make sure that we have a really active right side. So I try not to let my ribs fall down. Keep the ribs lifted as you stretch here. Now, the more you push, can you push your kneecap, push it away from your hip? You can kind of just hang on, it feels okay. But if you really push your knee away from your hip, you get a massive stretch in the quad. One more big breath in here. And slowly letting go, coming back to rise. But we're spiral lifting. So the legs will stay exactly as they are. Make sure they're separate from one another. Right hand behind you, left arm sweeps to the sky. Pushing hips up to chase the fingers. From here, left hand cradles your skull and try to press back into your hand, stretching your elbow point away from your heart, really trying to open into your chest. If it's too much to hold your skull, you can just make a goalpost arm. Either way, we create a shelf for the heart to help you open it. Hips find the floor. We're doing the same stretch with an extension this time. Left leg extends, big toe pushes down. Same stretch, rise and shine. I like to kick my right heel behind my knee a little more so I have more to lift out of. Hand cradles skull, or we make a goalpost here. Notice how that goalpost opens the front of your left shoulder as much as you're supporting your heart with your shoulder blades. Come on back down, yogis. Take a second. When you land, you're in seated tray. Might need to adjust yourself to get there. Right knee bent, foot as far away or as close to left thigh as you'd like. And then just move the flesh out from under your sits bones. We're gonna take a big break, reaching over the left leg. And just finding a really lovely place to land. That could require you to move and sway. Find your way. And whatever you're enjoying, we get to have 2 breaths here. If you'd like just a little more in this stretch, we can walk both hands outside your left baby toe, or you can lever against your foot and just give yourself a little twist around the left corner. Fully breathing in, slowing down if you added the twist so your breath can make it through all the nooks and crannies. Coming back to the center, walk on up to seated and then bring your right knee in so we can put this foot flat for reverse half tabletop fingers. Always yogi's choice which way they face. We want to feel openness in the shoulders and softness in the joints. When you're ready, push down through your right foot. Use your left heel and then rise body to sky, allowing your head to drop back. But if you do, squeeze your shoulder blades. There's a little pillow waiting for you when you do that. Big breath in. Full breath out. Settle your hips right back down. Move any of the flesh out of the way that may have gotten caught under your tail or sits bones. And then walk hands inside your right knee. Little tougher fold now that the knee is hugging our shoulder. But we're going to try. You may need to sit up taller, lengthen, and then fold here, hugging right shoulder with the knee. So if you have props near you, you could use your yoga strap, or you can always use a robe belt, a dog leash, an actual belt. Anytime you want to enhance, especially our hamstring stretches, we could wrap the ball of foot and then pull in. Another way to do it is to hold the leg itself, or you can actually grab the sides of your mat and use that to pull you forward. Might not look as pretty, but it's very effective. I got a lot bigger stretch when I did that. Okay, hang on for one more breath, my friends. And upon your exhalation, let's slowly rise right on back up to seated. Leaning back, allowing your legs and hips to release any way that they feel really good. And when you're ready, we're going to fall to the left side. Just taking a break over your left knee here. Coming down wherever you're feeling really comfy. Stretching into the hips. This is modified pigeon pose. Easing down. I always like to explore, so I'll do a little twisting and turning. Moving eyes new ways can really change how the stretch feels. When you're comfy on your left hand or forearm, reach right hand around for the quad stretch. And so you can just stay upright. This feels good. I like to lean so far away from left knee that you can elevate your right knee. And then we get a little squeeze, heel towards your butt. Remembering that if we kick into our right kneecap and try to shoot it away from the hip, we're going to get a really good stretch. Push, push out of the kneecap. Breathing into the left side, find lots of length down here. And when you're ready, slowly release, climbing up to left hand, splitting knees so that we can rise into spiral lift. I love to lift the right arm first, then let your hips follow. And once you've arrived, yogis, do we want to cradle the skull on this side? Do we want to use a goalpost arm? Find something that feels new, expressive, maybe a bit challenging. Feels like you're on the edge of a really big stretch, a new discovery of openness in your body. Let your hips fall. We're going to point the right toes. Try to lift your right heel as you do this. And we're going to rise again. Same stretch, but with a really extended right leg. Now we have a cool new opportunity. Left heel can swivel behind the left knee to help you lift that much higher. Bending into right elbow. When we do that, we create this beautiful shelf under our chest to boost our heart higher. Releasing back down when you are ready. Sitting on both cheeks, but we're finding seated tree. Foot close to or away from right leg. And then as we turn the corner, we just want to float our body down over the right leg. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Might need a little swinging, a little twisting, a little swaying to get deeper. If you'd like to add your tiny twist, both hands walk over outside the right ankle. You can cover right hand with the left. That'll help you stretch more through your left side. And as we come back to the center and rise, let's bring our left knee skyward, stamping that foot down, keeping right foot down through the heel is how we push, but keep that foot flexed, but soften your right knee. I know there's a lot there, so it's kind of hard. Soft right knee as we boost skywards. Let your head fall back if you've squeezed your shoulder blades. Just finding lots of openness on the front body. Release hips back down. So we open the front. Now we can refold. Reach to the sky. Keep your left knee close to your shoulder. You're welcome to widen it. So if it's right next to the thigh, it's really hard to get in there. You can widen it. But then once we get folded, try not to let it fall back open. We're going to keep it in. Reaching forward. And remember, here's the one where we can hold the sides of our mat and pull. Very deepening. Oh, let's go for 2 more big breaths in here. Feels so good. One more big breath in, friends. And upon your exhalation, let's rise, allowing knees to fall to any side. If they'd like to swish and windshield wipe, find your way back into tabletop, but just for a second. We're going to get into some gate poses here. These are the best for your inner thighs. Oh, I love them. So once you're all stacked up, move a little bit or a lot, whatever you feel like you need to rejuvenate yourself. And send your right leg all the way out to the side, pressing right blade edge flat. Soft in your knee, energized in the inseam. From here, walk both hands over to your right big toe and think downward facing dog. So we're going to stretch our arms out, create space in between the elbows for your head to lower. Remembering that the more we bow the upper body, the deeper the lower is being stretched. Softening facial features, holding on to that beautiful little smile. Everything else can release though. Slowly rising through the head and make a big semicircle around the other side. Soft right knee, stretch as far as you can now away from right toes. And can you rest your ribs on your left thigh, really bowing forward and down here. Rolling to blade edge of right foot, energized in that inner arch and all the way in through the inner thigh and groin. Rising through the head, coming back forward, rolling to rise. We're gonna stand on our left shin, yogis. Fingertips back to left knee, roll to rise. And as soon as you stretch really tall, do a little cartwheel to the left. Left fingertips fall. Right arm stretches all the way out. Look, your body's smiling. It's making a beautiful shape right now. Feels good, doesn't it? As you elevate your right leg, you may need to move your left hand out. So you stay stacked in your joints. Then point your right toes, stretch away. Fill your body with good energizing breath for a very productive afternoon. Heel to butt, another little quad stretch in here. Really opening the shoulder. So I would like you to try to squeeze your shoulder blades together and widen left to right across the chest. Now, how do we get more stretch in the quads? You know this now. Push your kneecap away from your shoulders. Woo, there it is. Breathing into whatever we're feeling. All right, so the only challenging part of our ooey gooey practice today is one fun, tiny balance. My friends, we're going to rise, but without the right leg. Watch me first. Eyes down, get light on your left fingertips, and we're gonna let go of the quad stretch, trying to balance and step this right leg forward for half split. So join me when you can. Oh, once we get there, it feels so good. Half split, yogis. All right, so you came from that gate pose, you balanced, hopefully you made it forward. A lot of teetering and tottering, but we made it, right? Half split. A little twist in this half split this time. Shift both hands over to your right side. And as you do, really long in your abdomen, long in your side bodies and your neck. Keep a really open toed. Spread your webbing. Right foot, so we have lots of energy coming to our extremities. Take one more big breath in. All right, so come back forward and you're welcome to just step back, but if you'd like the challenge, rise up again and see if you can balance while you step your right shin back. Good job, my friends. You can keep balancing. We're going to step the left leg out, or you can find tabletop, step it out, and just take the easy route. You deserve it. Flattening the blade edge of that foot. Feeling really energized, uplifted in the inseam. Walking both hands to the left. See how far you can reach. Can you reach past your baby toes? Once you've arrived, feeling, oh, right side body is opening, bowing our heads down to deepen that sensation. Try another huge inhalation here. At the bottom of your out breath, eyes rise. We do that huge semicircle walk away. Just really soften your left knee. It's easy to hyperextend our joints. We want to take good care of them as we practice. Rest the top of your right foot. And as you bow away from the left toes, can you land your body on the right thigh? Take a huge breath in here. Stretching into your left side. As you release, eyes up, swivel back to the center. Fingertips find your right knee, and we're going to roll to rise here. Sitting up really tall, falling to the right. I like to think about this as a slow motion cartwheel. And then stretch left fingers away from your left foot, creating that big smile with your body. As your left foot rises, right hand might have to walk a bit further out so we feel very stacked in our joints, pointing through the right toes. And can you lift and open them? Can you open your left fingers? Awesome. Heel to butt, reach around, try to grab, super gentle. It's okay if you can't grab. Just get used to this position. And then when you're ready, push your left kneecap away. Might not see anything changing, but you can sure feel it. I like to kick into my left hand, push my left knee away from my head, breathing through the length of your big muscle in your thigh, quadricep muscle. And for those of us that were talking earlier about our desk posture, our driving, cooking, texting, reading posture, how this gets short and this hurts, this gets short and this hurts, all of this is opening all of these muscles. All right, here comes the fun part, yogis. Eyes look down, we get light on the right fingers. We're gonna try that balance again. Letting go of the left leg, but finding balance to step the left foot forward without touching it down. Who won? Oh, I almost didn't make it. Shift back to half split, well done. And as you find another half split, pull belly in tight and then walk fingertips around the left side, stretching into your IT band, the outer left leg. Long abdomen, belly engaged, supporting your low back, long side bodies. One more big breath in here. Ah, well done, yogis. Come on back to the front. Find tabletop. So we have that challenging way. We can elevate the arms. Challenging in this sense is kind of fun, right? Little teeter-totter as you try to bring your knees back in. And then we push back. Get off your knees in downward facing dog. They'll need it. Just do a little bopping around here. You might need to reach back and massage your kneecaps, especially if you were on a hard floor. Do what feels really good. And we're going to come into some pigeons today. Now, I would like to tell you in a moment about a modification. So if you don't love pigeon, don't worry, I got you. But let's lift our left leg, look forward, crunch knee to nose, scoot knee to left wrist, swing left heel to right wrist, and try to land with a bent front knee. We did modified pigeon earlier. You're welcome to come back here, or you can keep your right leg outstretched. For those of you who love pigeons, stay. If you're thinking, oh, don't like it, I have an option for you. You can roll around and lie on your back. You're still going to hug your right knee in, and you can make it a figure 4 and find a bigger pigeon pose this way. So whatever feels really good. If you're staying in pigeon, no worries. We're going to get some back stretches together in a moment. For those of us who are on the belly, we're going to reach all the way forward and thread our needles. Right arm threads under the left, and right temple rests on the floor or as close as you can come to it. Now point through your left toes, and if you'd like, while you're here, your left arm can reach skywards, wrap around your low back, and you may be able to grab onto your left toes here. We're gonna stay for a few breaths. If you're reclining in your pigeon, feel free to rock side to side. And if you don't love the thread the needle, another option to get a bit deeper in this posture is to come diagonally off to the left side. Let your body drape over your left leg. 2 more breaths, breathing into the outer left thigh. Some of you may enjoy tucking your right toes, giving yourself a little extra oomph in your pigeon. If you're in for more of the restorative option, allow your right toes just to be long and loose. Unthreading if you're threaded, unbinding if you're holding your left toes. And when you get back, if you're lying on your back, come to seated with us. We're gonna sweep the right leg around to the front and find cow face. I'll show you this from the front, but cow face are knees that are stacked on top of one another. So don't worry if you don't like this, I have an option. We're gonna stack our knees. I like to take my knees and push them. Some people like to take their shins and pull them to get a little deeper into this posture. Right knee stacked on top of left. If this doesn't work in your body, it's okay. Some of us live in a tight body. Our hips are really congested. We can cross modified half lotus, or you're welcome to revisit so-called easy seat. I don't think any of it's easy, but that's what it's called. Okay, yogis, once you're here, just a little twist again. Fold your body over both knees. Try to create that heaviness while anchoring down through sits bones. Left arm crosses over, and we twist open with the right fingertips. They just reach straight behind us. You're welcome to come up and over and side bend, but not required. Just doing whatever feels so good in your body today. If your neck is a bit cranky, eyes down towards your knees or your shins, if you're an easy seat, is the path of least resistance. Right arm comes back to the center, eye gaze looks down, and we're gonna do a fun little, I like to call it a breakdancing move. We're gonna take our right leg behind us again, and then just switch our hips to the other side. So we've undone the right leg, we've turned knees to the right. This is the side we need to be on for pigeon. So we're gonna send the left leg back, right leg is in the front. If you feel like you need to find a down dog to get it, come on up with me, push your leg away, crunch knee to chest, right knee to right wrist, right ankle towards left wrist, and walk your toes straight back behind you, unless you're choosing modified pigeon. For those of you that like this option, stay here. If you'd prefer to roll to your back, you can cradle the baby with your right shin coming to your chest, or you can straighten left leg to ceiling and hold on to a reclined figure 4, very similar to our pigeon stretch. If you've stayed with me with your right shin forward, we're gonna thread left arm under the right, threaded needle, and then that feels pretty good, but if you'd like to add a little more, point your right toes, right arm would reach skywards, and around your low back, you may find the opportunity to hang on to your toes back there. Very nice chest opener. Let's take some time here to slow down our breathing, long and luxurious, smooth and quiet like a whisper. Feeling free if you're in reclined pigeon to rock around side to side, massaging through your low back. When you're ready to unwind this, if you're threaded, let's reach right arm to sky and unthread. And then finding cow face from here, we just lean onto the left cheek, swing our left leg, our back leg around, and it comes on top. If you were reclined, come up to seated. We're finding either easy seat, left shin in front, modified half lotus, left ankle on top, or cow face. Stacking left knee on top of right, scooching sits bones so they're feeling as planted as can be. If your foot is poking off the ground, it's okay. Just put some pillows or blankets underneath of it so it can feel grounded and supported by your practice. Now we're gonna twist. Right arm comes over. I love this part. Use your right arm to boost you up. Left fingertips reach behind. And if that just feels so good, you're like, I got more in me. Left arm rises. Maybe we tip over, reaching towards the right side, but our left sits bone has to stay anchored in. We always want to think about going in opposite directions. Light energy through the top half, grounded, anchoring through the bottom half. One more big breath in here, yogis. Okay, a bit like a break dancer again. We're gonna lean back, let our legs come undone, do a little swish, swish, and then roll to our stomach. So roll right around the corner, find a tabletop. Maybe you land on your forearms to ease yourself down. We're gonna do a little flip-flopping again. Frog, half frog today. Pulling right knee up to your hip height or above, heel behind the knee and frog toes turned out. Now we're all threading the needle because we have a super great transition coming. Left arm threads under the right, and you can rest just kind of like on this shoulder. We're only going to be here for a second. You can rest on the floor, whatever seems easier. You can also just keep your head elevated here. We're reaching right arm skywards, and then allow that arm to feel so heavy, it starts to drop behind you. The right knee pulls in. We're going to roll all the way to our backs, or as far as we can go for supine spinal twist, lying spinal twist. Now, if you can, roll yourself down to your shoulder girdle, right? Shoulder is as close to the ground as possible. Eye gaze looking past right fingertips. If this is not feeling intense in your low back, you can straighten up through your right leg. You might even like to hold on to your right leg with your left hand on the top or the bottom of it. Just give yourself a little extra in your low back. And if your right arm is really hovering in space, so is mine, yogis. It's definitely a few inches above the floor. I haven't gotten quite to the floor yet. And that'll tell us that we're a little tight in our right pectoral muscle, in by the armpit, the head of the shoulder, and the sternum area on that side. That's okay. You're also in a really deep twist. So notice if I were to lift my right knee, I could plant that right shoulder. It's all good, whatever feels best for you. Unwinding when you're ready, rethread your needle in half frog, and then unthread the left hand. Just bring both hands down by your ears. Send your right leg straight back behind you. Give a little swish of your hips here. Literally let them jiggle like a bowl full of Jell-O, so we're soft in the low back. And then let's take the left knee up towards the hip, heel right behind it, frog toes turned out. We're threading right arm under the left. And just for a second, you might like to rest your throat. You can get a really nice lymphatic massage if you put your shoulder head in your right lymph node. And you can kind of move around a little bit there. That feels nice. Or you can just hover your head, take another big breath in. When you're ready, left arm rises, and we begin to roll, 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 roll all the way around the corner. Our left knee has stayed off to the right side, but we've got this big spinal twist now. I like to keep trying to roll to my shoulder girdle, so I'm trying to roll till I'm pretty flat, but I personally enjoy my knee as close to the floor as possible for a bigger twist. Feels really expansive in your chest, right? If you need a little more, you can extend your left leg straight, holding it with the right hand if that feels better. Let's take one more inhalation and using our exhalation to unwind ourselves. We're going to rethread the needle, re-find ourselves in that half frog, thread our needle and come into Sphinx pose. Take your left heel behind you. Once you're readjusted on your mat, my friends, it's 1:55, so if you have to leave at 1:55, I wanted to give you that warning. Namaste, have a great long weekend, enjoy your day off. But if you can stay with me, we're finding Sphinx. Forearms pressed down, and our elbows are drawing back towards our hips so we can pull our chest forward. Opening our legs wider will enable us to get less tense in the low back, create more spaciousness there. Take another big breath in your Sphinx and try dropping your chin all the way to your chest in this Sphinx. Letting yourself really lengthen out the back of your neck. One more big breath in. Allow yourself to fall fully prone on your mat. Press back into child's pose, but from child's we move into hare. So if you remember this one, we reach behind us to hold on to our heels. And once you get that, if you're resting on your third eye, the middle of your forehead, feel free to rock, roll side to side, massage over your forehead if that feels good. Or as we wait for a moment, you may just want to look over your right shoulder, give your neck a stretch. Look over your left shoulder, stretch the other side. Coming into hare when you're ready. Tuck your nose in towards your knees and press very gently onto the crown of your head. Rolling your upper back skywards, creating a huge angry cat shape. And as we hold on to our heels, we're opening all the vertebrae in our spine. When we rest on our head here, we're very light. You may even feel almost like you're hovering. Back is lifting, so there is no compression in your neck. One more big breath in. Full breath out, hips to heels. Reach arms forward and find an extended, soft child's pose. Palms face the sky, forearms face up. Stretching open left to right in your shoulders and your chest. Palms turn back down. We tuck our toes and we're rising to forward fold, finishing our practice today standing with some really nice stress relieving moves that are inspired by Tai Chi. Fingers walk back towards your toes. Take as much time as you need. Great stretch as you crouch here for the Achilles, for the bottoms of your feet, maybe even into your calves. And when you feel ready, let's super slowly roll to rise. Hips lift. Everything hangs heavy like a rag doll on your top half, and you may even like to just drag your fingertips right up your body here. Slowly rising. Once head is up, arms follow. Step your feet just a little bit wider than your hip width, and allow your arms to fall so softly. Lift your left heel, swing arms to the right. Lift your right heel, swing arms to the left. You're like a rag doll in your upper body. Your torque, your core is building all the power. So your arms are literally slinging around your body. A wonderful way to think about flinging tension off your fingertips. Get soft in your body, eyes down. Back and shoulders maybe a little rounded here. Breathe in and breathe out. Slow breaths, even though we're moving quickly. This can feel really nice for your body, especially in through your core and your low back. And if you start to smack your body, that's a really good sign. Like if you're like slap, slap, that's good because that means you're really loose and free in your arms. We want them to flop around here. We're gonna go for 4. Keep going, yogis. 2 and 1. Let's step our feet together. Just take a moment to find a mountain pose. Lengthening from crown of head, eye gaze straight forward, chin tucked in just a tad so the back of our neck is really long. Heels feel like they're settled directly under hips, and then our thighs are rolling backwards, in and back. Finding a really tall, open chest, palms face forward. Sweep arms skywards, extending our mountain pose. And as you draw your palms back down through heart center, I wanted to remind us of our intention for today, for our heart-focused, self-care loving practice in honor of Valentine's Day. I experience love wherever I go. My hope for you yogis after your practice today is that you find that love is everywhere. You are loving and lovable. Please believe that in yourself. You are very worthy of that. Loving people will fill your life. And I hope you find yourself easily expressing love to others. My love is sending straight to you today. I'm so grateful for the practice that you share with me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to lead you. And I hope you liked a different flow today, a little ooey gooey stretching. I'm thankful and inspired by you, yogis. My light honors yours. Namaste. Have a great weekend.